We looked up to him beginning and now still looked up to him. He's like become a champ. He's like one of the best fighters in the world. Like people think I hate him. I love him because he's Muslim. I'm Muslim. He come like some village like me, you know, like same country, same small republic, like Chechnya, Dagestan, like this still the same. I have a lot of brothers like from Dagestan. Yeah, he's Muslim, I'm Muslim, we're brothers, alhamdulillah.
Khamzat Chimaev is gearing up for the biggest test of his career, starting his training camp in Dagestan alongside Team Khabib.
Сегодня Ислам выиграл, да, пояс, иншаллах. Следующий очень близок Хамзат, да, чтобы мы все собрались вот так же, когда Хамзат выиграет пояс, не для маслихата, не для вот этих разговоров. Чтобы мы собрались обмыть нашего чемпиона, еще один, который станет иншаллах.
With his reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the UFC, the anticipation around Chimaev's upcoming fight against Dricus du Plessis has been through the roof. However, while many view Chimaev as an unstoppable force, a handful of analysts and fighters are beginning to raise serious questions about his ability to handle what could be a tough 5-round battle. The match promises to be a war of styles, with both Chimaev and du Plessis bringing unique skills to the table.
Hamza fighting against Dricus, who do you think he wins?
I think Hamza is gonna win because I don't see anyone preparing properly for Hamza. They are bringing wrestlers to train them to defend takedowns and all that, but Hamza doesn't do the normal stuff. Hamza doesn't do wrestling. He does MMA wrestling. It's different. You need to understand his system, what he wants next. You need to understand this first, and then you start to prepare for him. And I think Hamza is gonna win.
Chimaev has certainly lived up to the hype thus far. His explosive style, heavy wrestling game, and seemingly endless gas tank have made him a nightmare for most opponents. However, Michael Bisping, the former UFC middleweight champion, has added a layer of caution to the conversation. While Bisping acknowledges Chimaev's extraordinary finishing abilities and wrestling prowess, he expressed concerns about the Chechen-born fighter's cardio in championship rounds. Chimaev has yet to face a true test in the latter stages of a fight, and Bisping pointed out that in his bouts with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, Chimaev appeared to tire as the rounds wore on. Chimaev's early aggression, which often overwhelms opponents, might work against him if he fails to secure a finish before fatigue sets in.
And he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head off. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell. And that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins, 12 stoppages. Only time he's gone to a decision is twice against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. And we know what happened there. He got a little bit tired. And against Kamaru Usman, well, he was kind of lucky to get that decision. I'm not talking about Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's phenomenal. But I think he's got some problems here going 5 rounds against Dricus du Plessis. We've never seen him go 5 rounds. But we do know the man is a finisher. He is a phenom. He's a freak of nature. He's a strong son of a bitch. He's a great wrestler. He might not have the accolades of a Bold Nickel, but holy shit, when it comes to being effective, Khamzat Chimaev is right up there. He's one of the best finishers.
Bisping believes that if Chimaev is pushed into the deep waters, fighters like du Plessis, who has shown the ability to weather storms, could capitalize on that fatigue. The South African is known for his durability and mental toughness, which Bisping believes could be crucial if the fight stretches past the 3rd round. On the flip side, while Bisping remains a fan of Chimaev's talents, he sees du Plessis as a fighter who might have the necessary endurance and grit to pull off an upset if the fight becomes a grind.
That we have in mixed martial arts right now. In fact, I will say the 2 best finishers in all of MMA right now, Tom Aspinall and Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat, 14 fights, 12 stoppages, 2 decisions, as I said earlier. And I'm telling you, he's going to try and finish Dricus du Plessis straight away. And that's his best bet. Now, Dricus du Plessis, this man's on fire, right? He's 23-2 overall. He's on an 11-fight win streak.
Chael Sonnen, another well-respected analyst, voiced his opinion on a different aspect of the fight. In a recent interview, Sonnen took issue with some of the narratives surrounding Chimaev, particularly those involving his past health issues. Du Plessis recently made a joke about Chimaev's previous fight cancellations, insinuating that the undefeated fighter would pull out of UFC 319, leaving Nasruddin Imavov as the backup fighter. Sonnen, who has always been vocal about issues in the sport, strongly disagreed with that view. He pointed out that Chimaev's most notable withdrawal occurred during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic when the fighter was critically ill and placed on a ventilator. According to Sonnen, it's unjust to hold that situation against Chimaev, especially when the fighter has shown nothing but dedication and resilience since then.
I feel like this rises the stock of Ivanov, who, by the way, after getting an incredible win over Adesanya, does deserve something. He did look like kind of the odd man out as the other 85-pounders were getting matched up, so I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, Dricus went a step further. Dricus took the post that says Ivanov will be backup fighter, and Dricus took that as an announcement that in Chicago later this year, he will be defending his title against Ivanov because he believes that Chimaev, who has a history of pulling out of fights, is going to stick true to form and pull out of the fight. And by the way, that's a little bit of a false rumor. That whole idea that Chimaev has had to pull out of a bunch of fights, that really is a little bit of a false rumor. And I could break that down and you could show me your evidence, but I mean, come on. When the pandemic hit, Chimaev never thought he was going to fight again. He thought he was going to be one of the statistics. He was on a ventilator. He didn't believe he was ever going to leave that room. So that was the first of the fights that he had to pull out of. And I just share for you in extreme cases such as that. I don't know that 5 years later we stick around and use that to try to like pierce the veil of this guy's immaculate credibility. So
Bo Nickel, one of the brightest prospects in the UFC's middleweight division, shared a similar sentiment, but from a stylistic perspective. He believes that Chimaev's grappling dominance reflects the rise of pressure-based fighters in MMA, who focus on controlling opponents rather than just looking for finishes. Nickel draws comparisons to other dominant grapplers like Islam Makhachev and Merab Dvalishvili. For Nickel, Chimaev's rise symbolizes the growing importance of relentless pressure, something that Du Plessis will have to deal with when the two face off.
I just think the grappling style, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have, you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking. But his background is wrestling. He did that before anything else. And so, it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
However, Du Plessis' approach to the fight is not entirely about surviving Chimaev's initial onslaught. UFC bantamweight legend Dominic Cruz offered his own take, praising Du Plessis' versatility and ability to switch stances. Cruz emphasized that these skills could be critical in neutralizing Chimaev's wrestling attacks. Du Plessis' striking, particularly his ability to mix up his angles and movements, could help him avoid being taken down and dominated early in the fight. According to Cruz, Du Plessis' toughness and mental resilience will be key to withstanding Chimaev's trademark early aggression.
Man, I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. Because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong, so I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. Just the strength alone has been too much, and I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough. He can challenge it, but I will say I think it might be the toughest fight of his.
Sean Strickland has also weighed in on the fight, offering a more nuanced perspective. Strickland, who has had extensive sparring sessions with Chimaev and fought Du Plessis in 2 high-level rounds, made an interesting prediction. Strickland believes that Du Plessis can effectively counter Chimaev's wrestling and frustrate the undefeated fighter. While he recognizes Chimaev's grappling acumen, Strickland believes the key to beating Chimaev lies in surviving his early blitz and keeping the fight standing. For Strickland, Du Plessis doesn't even need to out-wrestle Chimaev. He just needs to neutralize the takedown attempts and capitalize on Chimaev's potential fatigue as the fight progresses.
Did you see TDP and Khamzat got announced?
Oh no,
Yeah,
Where's that going to be at?
Chicago.
Oh, no. They're letting the terrorists in.
Do you think he beats DDP or do you think DDP retains?
You know, it's hard. So those little Chechen, dude, they can grapple. And like someone like me, who I've been training with these for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple them. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him. But if he can, I think he wins all hands down, you know. I sparred the Chechen, like hands down, I think Dricus wins. But it's just going to come down to like, are you going to be able to like counter wrestle? And like you can, it's not hard.
Interestingly, Strickland's take sharply contrasts with that of Darren Till. Till, who has trained with Chimaev and fought Du Plessis, believes that Chimaev is a nightmare matchup for the South African. Despite respecting Du Plessis' skills, Till has no doubt that Chimaev's relentless power and pressure will overwhelm his opponent. Till has even gone as far as predicting that Chimaev will finish Du Plessis within 2 rounds.
If I went back to the UFC now as the middleweight I could be, I'd fucking tear that Dricus' head off. Tell Dricus I said fuck him, by the way. The little fucking gobshite. Because I can't stand his guts because he's so shit, he's so good.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, I'm with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds, I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows. I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but, you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, you're looking svelte. You're looking great. How much are you weighing right now?
Everyone's been saying that, you know, that I'm looking fabulous.
Yeah, you are.
Ariel, let's just go. Do I look fabulous?
I think you look fabulous. The teeth are just like blinding me. I wish I was wearing sunglasses right now, but you're looking fit. Way fitter than the last time, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to show me another thing there. It was getting very low, the camera. It was weird. I was
whoa.
It was uncomfortable.
Whoa. Only my missus gets to see that. Don't be disrespectful.
On the other hand, Rainier de Ridder, a former 2-division champion in 1 championship and a rising star in the UFC, also shared his perspective on the fight. Like Strickland, de Ridder believes that Chimaev's early aggression could backfire if he is unable to secure a finish early. Du Plessis has a reputation for being difficult to take down, and his footwork and movement present problems that Chimaev may struggle with.
No, he's absolutely not. I know you've been asked a million times about like the Khamzat and Dricus fight, but now that we do have a date, like a location, all that kind of stuff, maybe you can talk about it in more real terms since we know when and where it's happening.
Yeah, it's August, and where is it?
Chicago.
Oh,
August 16th.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently Khamzat can fight in the U.S.
Yeah. Now Trump is in office.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it before. Do you still feel Khamzat has the advantage there?
No, I think Dricus is gonna. I think Dricus will win. Yeah.
De Ridder went on to explain that if Du Plessis can survive the early onslaught, he would gain momentum as the fight progresses. Du Plessis has shown an ability to keep up his explosive power even when fatigued, something that could be crucial against an opponent like Chimaev, who thrives on pushing the pace early. De Ridder praised Du Plessis' unorthodox yet effective fighting style, which confuses opponents and creates constant problems in exchanges.
I don't think Khamzat is gonna get him out of there early, and Dricus is a motherfucker, man. He keeps going. And every round, though it doesn't really look better, he looks better at his technique. He gets better every round. And I see Dricus like finishing him in the late rounds, like 4th round, 5th round, maybe, with a lot of volume. I see Khamzat maybe taking him down in the 1st, 2nd round, getting to his back, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I think Dricus has a good shot.
De Ridder's viewpoint is particularly noteworthy because of his history with Du Plessis. Before either fighter reached the UFC, they shared time in the regional circuits, though they never fought. De Ridder recalled his first impression of Du Plessis during a training session, calling him energetic, friendly, and a bit chaotic. This fits with Du Plessis' fighting style, which can often seem disorganized, but is surprisingly effective in a chaotic environment.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Are you gonna try to, get there and be at the fight, cage side, all that kind of stuff, make your presence known?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, why not? I'll be in Florida because we're moving over to the US with my wife and kids soon. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're going all in on the US move.
Yeah, I have to, man. I have to. These are the years, and we found a school for the kids, and everything is set up there. So, yeah, it's time.
Luke Rockhold, a former UFC middleweight champion, echoed a similar sentiment regarding Chimaev's style. Rockhold suggested that Chimaev's tendency to front-load his fights could be his downfall, especially if the fight extends into the later rounds. Du Plessis' durability and conditioning, according to Rockhold, will shine when the pace slows down, allowing him to take control of the fight if Chimaev fades.
It's not always about the most technical guy, you know, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does. You know, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard third, fourth, and fifth round.
Right.
I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Robert Whittaker, a man who has fought both Du Plessis and Chimaev, took a more balanced approach. He acknowledged Chimaev's explosive entry as a major threat, but also pointed out that Du Plessis' awkward movement and strength could disrupt Chimaev's rhythm. Whittaker believes that Du Plessis presents a more complex challenge than someone like Strickland, whose more straightforward style allowed Chimaev to dictate the pace. Du Plessis' unpredictability in movement could make it difficult for Chimaev to implement his usual game plan.
Khamzat against Dricus or Sean, do you think he'd be the favorite against either of them?
I think he just takes him down, and like how he beat Usman, how he beat Gert Burns, I can see those sort of fights. I think he'd have more success with Strickland than Du Plessis. Du Plessis is like a big dude, but ultimately stopping that first takedown is so crazy. The way he shoots in that first shot is crazy. How do you stop that dude? Jump over him.
Finally, Coach Tim Welch added another layer to the discussion, suggesting that Du Plessis could employ psychological warfare to rattle Chimaev. Welch speculated that Du Plessis might be able to get into Chimaev's head, throwing off his focus during the fight. While Welch didn't see Du Plessis as a scrambling expert like Strickland, he highlighted that the mental aspect of the fight could be a significant wild card.
Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first fucking 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of the press conferences, respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so you might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
In the end, it's clear that the upcoming UFC 319 middleweight title fight between Chimaev and Du Plessis is far from predictable. With a clash of styles, strategies, and mental fortitude, both fighters bring plenty of tools to the octagon. Whether Chimaev's explosive wrestling and early aggression will be enough to finish Du Plessis, or whether Du Plessis' endurance, unpredictability, and mental toughness will lead him to victory remains to be seen. One thing's for sure, fans are in for a thrilling and unpredictable showdown.